What is up, guys? What's going on? Welcome back to another very exciting episode of Yak Pack Outdoors. All right, check it out. Today's episode, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing some underwater bait comparisons, right? Some underwater lure comparisons. This is a serious thing I did last summer, and you guys absolutely loved it. So we're going to be comparing two different type swim baits today. All right, number one, if you are new here to this channel, I'm TJ. Welcome. I'm your host of Yak Pack Outdoors. One thing I like to do before I start every video is I like to ask a question of the day, okay? And in this specific video series, this being video number 9 of the 30-day video challenge, today's question of the day: what is a bait that you guys usually struggle with catching fish, or a bait or lure, whatever you want to call it, that you guys have really wanted to use but are struggling to catch fish? I want to try to help you guys come up with some tips or techniques of certain things, you know, if I have the knowledge behind it. I want to try to help you guys. Maybe I'll be able to tell you a couple things that you haven't heard before, you haven't tried before. So what's one thing that you've always wanted to catch fish on, or that you struggle to catch fish on, lure or bait? Put that in the comments below. My answer will actually be down below as well. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys on your, what's your take on that? What's your specific lure or bait that you struggle with, and hopefully I can provide some sort of assistance. But with all that being said, guys, last thing, don't forget, go ahead and take your thumbs, left or the right, doesn't matter. Thumb punch that red subscribe button, okay? Turn that notification bell on, that way you can be notified every single time I upload a video. Let's get to comparing some swim baits. All right, guys, check it out. So this is what we've got here today. We've got a Savage Gear 3DS bluegill swim bait, and then we've got a LiveTarget sunfish type swim bait right here. So these are gonna be the two baits that we compare today. And basically what we're looking for is what looks the most live-like, what looks the most real underwater, because when you're throwing this thing, 99% of the time you're throwing it in darker water, and you can't actually really see what it looks like underwater. So these videos are of great help to you guys, and it'll give you an idea of, hey, if the bait actually looks like this, maybe I should roll it this way or fish it this way, or whatever the case may be. I did a video a while back on the Savage Gear, and it did not live up to my expectations, but I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I don't know. I just don't know. But I pulled it straight out of the pack and put it straight in here, and it didn't live up to my expectations. But it's been used since then. It feels a little softer than it used to. So we'll see today. We're gonna compare it. Never done one of these videos with a LiveTarget, so I know it's got a really loose oscillating tail, so that's already a good sign. But one key thing to keep in mind is this bluegill is a 3-part bodied swim bait, right? So if you got, it's 3 parts. This LiveTarget is not. It's just one solid piece of what almost feels like a really soft rubber type material. Both of them feel the same. Both of them weigh the same. The Savage Gear has a little stinger hook on it. This one does not. I'm just not going to put one on there. It's not a big deal to me. But with all that being said, let's tie this on, and we're going to go with the LiveTarget first. Check it out. I just put my GoPro underwater, and let me tell you, that water is like 50 degrees. That is freezing cold. I was joking around with my father-in-law, telling him I was going to jump in here, but he was like, yeah, no, you're not going to do that. Definitely not going to do that. All right, so what are we looking for when we're fishing these type swim baits, okay? These are the cheaper versions. You hear you catch bigger fish using swim baits, whatever the case may be. What I'm looking for, all right, I'm looking for action, okay? Because if this thing is just gonna sit dead in the water and not really have a lot of movement, or if it's gonna roll on its side and not really swim right, I'm not gonna use it, right? If it's just not gonna work good and how it's supposed to, I'm not gonna use it. So that's mainly what we're gonna be looking for, and then we'll talk through it together, guys. So let's check it out. So rate of fall, it falls pretty fast, all right? I would say, I don't know, a foot a second maybe. Just reeling it, initial impressions first. So if you're just reeling it, it's not bad. It's got a good amount. Dang, this thing's heavy. It's got a very good amount of tail action, but that's it. It doesn't really have a lot of body action. Okay, yeah, so that looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good. It looks just like a bait fish would look. So I'm gonna try to do a retrieve that I like to do that basically makes a fish look injured. I'm gonna reel it, and I'm gonna stop and let it fall, and I'm gonna pick it back up again. So while you're doing that with generally anything, spinner baits, chatter baits, swim baits like this, underspins or fish head spins, whatever the case is, if you give it a pause and let it kind of sink down, it's gonna look like that fish is injured or dying, and that's an easy meal for a bass. So it's largemouth, smallmouth, whatever you fish. But let's try that retrieve. So we're gonna reel it, and we're just gonna kill it. We're gonna reel it and then kill it. Yeah, it doesn't really, I don't know. When you kill it, it doesn't really have a lot of action, but we're gonna try it again. We're gonna give it another shot. Always give it 2 chances. Reel and stop. Yes, I can't tell from here, but it doesn't look like that tail flutters like I want it to on the way down. So far, I would give, all right, one more time, just to be sure. Get it closer to the camera for you guys this time. Reel it, kill it. Pick it up, reel it, kill it. I don't know, guys. I can't really tell. I think if you get these baits at Academy or Dick's or, you know, wherever they sell them, I'm pretty sure they're like $12 baits, okay? And for $12 so far, for $12, do I think this is good or bad? It's not terrible for 12 bucks, okay? Could you probably catch some fish on this? Yes. The action is not exactly how, you know, I would want it to be. Maybe this bait is designed to be a little more subtle like that and to not have that much movement. But with all that said, we're gonna go ahead and switch to the Savage gear right now, and let's actually get some comparison in. All right, guys, check it out. Next up, like I said, we got the Savage gear, right? Let's see if you guys can see that decent. Let me move out of the way so you guys can see it a little better. So this right here, same size, same weight. It's got a stinger hook on it. It's not gonna make much of a difference. The only difference that I'm concerned with, or that I'm interested in, is this is a, like I showed you guys earlier, this is a three body part swim bait. You know, it's all the same piece of rubber, but it's cut. It's got these specific cuts in it. So we're gonna see, this one looks to me right off the bat, if I was looking at them in the package in the store, this one looks like it would have more action. But we're gonna put that to the test right here, and we're gonna see. We're looking for the same exact thing that we was looking for in that LiveTarget, you know, action on the retrieve, action on the fall. Okay, so initially, rate of fall. A lot slower than the LiveTarget. Let's just give it a retrieve. Oh yeah. Yeah, this has got so much more action. The retrieve. Oh my goodness. So I'll give it one more time closer to, oh my goodness. Yeah, now see, that looks like a fish. That looks like a fish. So on the initial, the first retrieve right here so far, this one beats the LiveTarget tenfold. All right, so let's give it that retrieve and then pause. Yeah, see this, the fall doesn't necessarily look real to me, but it's still, it goes from that super fast action to a stop, and it just kind of falls, which, in all honesty, for the LiveTarget and this one, the bass really may not be paying that much attention to the way the bait is falling, but that's always gonna be a factor. It's always gonna come into play. All right, one more reel and fall. So we're reeling and we stop. See, that Savage just looks a whole lot more realistic to me over versus the LiveTarget. And these are two obviously very, you know, similar price range, comparable swim baits. So one thing I'm actually going to try with this, I'm going to try to get you guys the best view I can. I'm going to burn this thing in because I really like the action on this thing. This thing's got a lot of tail action. I'm going to burn it in, kind of like a fish trying to get away from a predator. Yeah, see, that just looks so much more real than, and this is how I would fish a swim bait, or this is how I would fish this type swim bait. So this does look a whole lot more real than the LiveTarget. That's hands down. I don't even need to compare anymore. I mean, this is just night and day, the LiveTarget versus the Savage gear. But these, so how cool is that, guys? Being able to compare two things that you would, you know, virtually go spend your money on. Now you guys get to see which one of these actually looks the best underwater, which one of these. Now you can make that judgment call on which one of these would you want to purchase, because, you know, you don't have to go out and I try to preach to you guys, don't go out and spend all your money on tackle or all your money on gear. Like, you don't need all this fancy stuff to be a successful fisherman. You want to dive into the swim bait game, but you don't have $100 for a Huddleston or however much a Huddleston costs. These things right here, obviously, I mean, they're cost effective. 12 bucks. I think this one was 9 or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long since I got it, but phenomenal. I mean, that's really good. From the last comparison video I did, which I mentioned earlier in this video, I put this in the water right after I took it out of the pack, and it just didn't look like that. Another thing that I'm you know, now remembering and I recall is when I tried to do a video on this the first time, I was using braid. This is 15-pound fluorocarbon, so that could have been the case because that braid doesn't have stretch in it. This does. I don't know if that plays a factor in it or not. You guys can tell me in the comments if you think it does, but if I had to choose one of these swim baits, okay, it would absolutely be the Savage gear. Just based on what I saw today and how I would be able to retrieve this in water that I could not see it under. I now know what to do when I'm reeling it in. I know when to pause it and when to speed it up, and I've seen what it looks like underwater. So that is why these videos benefit you guys greatly. All right, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, do not forget to thumb punch the thumbs up button, okay? Thumb punch, left or the right thumb, does not matter. Thumb punch that subscribe button, okay? Get notified, that little bell, get notified every single time I upload a video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, this was a video that I have been wanting to do for a while now, comparing these specific swim baits, because, you know, yeah, I have two of them. I got one in a Lucky Tackle box, and then I bought one a while back, but which one actually looks best? And now we know which one looks better. Okay, now this is what I need you guys to do. All right, you've already answered the question of the day. The next thing I need you guys to do is, what kind of baits do you guys want to see in the pool? Okay, by the time you guys see this video, I will be able to make about 2 more of these. So I want input from you guys. All right, I want to know what you guys want to see in the pool. I'm going to create a little playlist, right, for everything I've ever done underwater. That way it'll be attached to this video. You guys can see everything I've ever done. Maybe it's already there, that's something that you want to see. Maybe not. If it ain't, I'll try my best to get out here and make it. But with that being said, thank you again for watching, guys. I appreciate all of your support. I love every last one of you. Catch y'all next time.